will make money. Couple of bettors.
What's up, everybody? Episode 57, couple of bettors, NFL Week 12, coming at you. Jets season officially over, so that's lovely, you know?
Bills season just
The opposite.
fucking crushing it.
Oh,
Gotta continue to crush it. Going to the Super Bowl, baby.
Couldn't have opposite emotions right now.
No, yeah.
I mean, you're on cloud nine, and I'm in the gutter, and we're talking about a rebuild. So, yeah, beautiful.
But you've been in the gutter for a while, and
True.
all we've gotten to talk about is Jets, because every fucking week something else happens with the Jets, and we have to all focus on that, and we forget about the teams that are actually doing well. So
It's true. At least, though, in the offseason this time, it's not going to be like the big hype train with the Jets because it's
or
over.
will it? Or will it be Aaron Rodgers still there, surrounded by a whole new
But now they got
coaching
Gruden.
staff?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I leave it
Could
to
be.
the damn Jets to find
Yeah.
a hype train for nothing.
That's right. All right, let's get into, let's face it, people in the news, players, coaches, and let's start out with a GM. Joe
Of the
Douglas.
Jets.
Joe Douglas of the New York Jets is gone. He only had about 7 weeks more left on his contract, so, you know, what's the difference anyway? But it's just the end of Woody Johnson says a couple weeks ago, the Jets had the best roster they've assembled in 25 years. And it's due to Joe Douglas, and then, you know, he fires him. But I guess what are you going to do? You're going to re-sign the guy? I mean, the record was 30-60 or some shit like that with him there. And look, you got a lot of great guys. You could name a lot of really talented players with Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall and Sauce Gardner and all those guys. But at the end of the day, Zach Wilson, bit of a miss. Bringing in Aaron Rodgers, did that work out? You know, and that's the whole problem.
Drops Sam Darnold, who's doing well on the Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, him and Gino look a little bit debatable, you know. I mean, but they've been in the league for a while. So anyway,
Put Tyrod in.
we had yeah, I know. Well, that's another thing actually that there's a rumor out there that Woody Johnson said after Week 4 and the loss to the Broncos, he sat down with the coaching staff to bench Aaron Rodgers and put Tyrod in. I mean, we got to get we're not going to be able to win unless we get rid of the owner. They listen.
Yes, everybody's calling for him
Yeah.
to just sell the team, find somebody else to try. I mean, listen, John Bon Jovi want to buy the Bills. Maybe he'll buy the Jets.
We need somebody, some savior. Not Steve Cohen though. Not doing great with the Mets.
All right. Well, we also have just a quick little fun fact that the NFL has said that you can do the Donald Trump dance, celebration dance. It will not be offensive or fined, or it's just a happy little dance, and people are welcome to do it. So.
Yep. A few guys were doing it already. I mean, they had Brock Bowers. I think maybe somebody on the Cowboys. I know that there's been a lot of people in sports. John Jones after UFC.
Yeah, well,
you know, all those guys are always all about it. So,
in further New Jersey football team news,
more Jersey.
the Giants are going to bench Danny Dimes, but they're also going to have Tommy Cutlets take over for him this week, especially. They just signed Tim Boyle, good old Tim Boyle, also from the Jets prior, to the practice squad, which then puts Danny Dimes as a fourth string quarterback. So the question is he going to even show up at this point? Because he will be doing nothing.
Yeah.
Most likely not. I don't know. I don't know what you do in this situation. But what I do know is that the only New York team is the only team doing very, very well, not firing people, not benching quarterbacks, not benching anybody, just having a great time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if I was Daniel Jones, I would not go to the facilities anymore. I mean, Derek Carr, they did that to him. They said they don't want him to get injured, contract this and that. And they said, what am I supposed to come here for?
Right.
And I'm pretty sure that's why they signed Tim Boyle, because it was like, you're probably not going to show up anymore. But weird move, the Giants going right to Tommy DeVito. And I watched Dable's press conference, making it seem like, yeah, we want a spark. We don't want to go to Drew Lock, the backup that we're paying $5 million a year for, and this really talented guy, because they clearly want to lose.
I think they want to lose, but it also did bring a little bit of a spark last season where it's just, you know, you bring in the dude, get his family, sell some
merch.
shit. Yeah. At least Giants fans will be like, I get to watch Tommy Cutlets. You know, just have some fun with it. You got to have something. You know, you guys don't have that.
No, we got nothing.
Got nothing.
Yep. Well, speaking of breaking news, Adam Schefter was in the news. He was on a podcast, actually.
Kind of cringeworthy.
I don't know if you guys seen this guy, but doesn't really seem like the ladies' man. But
No,
they asked him, where's the weirdest place you broke some news? And he said...
could have lied.
He could have lied, but no, he said he remembers vividly. He was in Denver, and he was just with a woman that he had never been with. He was laying in bed right after, and he said he found out about some guy getting suspended for 8 games due to substance abuse. He went online, boom, tweeted it out, and he said he got the job done in more ways than one that night. So Adam Schefter, what a maniac.
Listen, the story is fine. I'm sure that happens.
Of course, yeah.
But the fact that you go on a podcast and you give all those details is so unnecessary.
Very
Just
unnecessary.
giggle about it, leave a lot out. Yeah, I had to tweet some news while I was in the middle of something. No, he had to go into weird ass details with a little smirk on his face. I don't know.
It's a man's man.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so at all.
Usually, he's probably making up for stuff by.
Yeah, a man's man would do what I said and just give little details, say little things, not give all the details. Gross.
Yep.
Anyway.
All right, next up, how do we do betting? Not that bad hit rate wise. It's 6 out of 10. Wasn't too bad. What was bad for me was that I lost my lock of the week, which was the Packers, and I put 4 units on it. So that made me about even for the week.
Yeah, if I actually bet on the Bills, which I don't, my lock would have hit tremendously because good teams win, but great teams cover, and the Bills were a great team against the Chiefs. In case anybody missed it, fantastic game. The Chiefs are now not undefeated anymore, 9-1. Very exciting. But yeah, that would have been a good moneymaker for those of you that followed me on that lock. But my Commanders money line bet was just terrible. It wasn't even close. The Broncos bet though, should have put $1 million on it.
Oh, I know.
Should have put $1 million on it. Easy. Was out the door first quarter. Just a good
I felt
bet.
that way about the Texans. I mean, they were up by 10, and it wasn't like a big blowout. It was 20-10, but then 34-10. That was a nice one. So put a few units on that one. I added to the Bills actually after I was down on the Green Bay game just because more action. So that was good. Followed her on that bet. So all in we're evenish, but it was a good hit rate. Brings us up for the season on regular bets about 53+%, and on locks about 62%. So not too shabby.
Well, speaking of locks, this is my lock of the week. I'm taking the Steelers -3.5 against the Browns. Browns are terrible. Steelers have a top 10 defense. If you watch them against the Ravens, they were phenomenal. It was 16-13 Steelers. Low scoring game, but you had 2 strong offenses with 2 strong defenses going after it, and the Steelers looked like the better team in it in the end. So I think this is an easy spread to cover against a Browns team that, yes, Jameis is doing better, but they still have an awful, awful defense, and they just are working on, they have an awful offense. Their defense might be able to hold up, but not against the Steelers. The Steelers' defense is just way too good. So this is, I think, easy money.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm on it too. I mean, this is a good one for a little Thursday night football action in the division. But the Browns, Jameis's first game, they come out and they put up, they beat the Ravens. It's like, what the hell happened? Then after that, it was just like 10 points, 14 points off. I mean, also after that though, Amari Cooper's gone, right? That's a big letdown on the offensive side of the ball for them. So not good. You know?
Easy money. Ooh.
AFC matchup, Patriots going to the Dolphins on this one. We're split on who's going to win this one. Do we give a shit that much? No. Not really. Drake May has been playing better. I'll tell you that.
He is, and I think that's why I'm leaning. I also don't want to put my money on either team, but the Dolphins are supposed to be the better team here, but because Drake May is looking better, they have a shot at beating them. Also, spread's a little high, I think. I think they're a little closer in statistically than that spread shows.
Yeah, yep, I agree with you. I'm staying away.
All right, then we have the Vikings at the Bears. The Bears. Listen, the Bears won against the Packers, which was great for the divisional game. Terrible for our bet. We took the Packers at -5.5. I think the Packers just.
The Bears actually lost by 1 point.
I'm sorry, they lost,
but,
but
they didn't cover.
they didn't cover, and it looked like they were keeping up with the Packers, which they shouldn't have, especially looking at the minus the 5.5 spread. So I don't give the Bears credit. I think more that the Packers just tanked and shit the bed. So this way, for those reasons, plus I think the Vikings are still good. I'm taking them at minus 3.5. You're just leaning.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the Vikings were obviously much better earlier in the season. They're a little hotter. I don't think the Bears are that good still, but they they put up a little bit of a fight and show that So I just want to stay away from this one.
I mean, their teammates want Caleb to sit. It's not good.
I know. That's what I said last week, but they found a way to keep it close.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
And cover.
Yeah, still going to sit on the Vikings for that one.
How do you not bet on the Lions? Lions at the Colts. I mean, these guys are rolling.
Lions are like the lock part 2. It's just we keep taking the Lions as locks, so I wanted to stay away. But definitely, this is minus 7.5 against the Colts.
I feel like you just every week just put a few units on the Lions. We can't just put up every week Lions are the lock, Lions are the lock. But at the end of the day, I mean, the offense is unstoppable. And the Colts right here, they have a bottom 5 in rushing defense and passing defense. The Lions do both of those things. How are they going to stop this offense? They're going to go in. It's a turf dome game, whatever, and they're just going to do whatever the fuck they want. Right. If they're going to put up 35, so if you're telling me that you think that the Colts are going to put up, 27 points, 28 points, that's what this is. I don't think so. I really don't. They put it up against the Jets because they're falling apart, but some people are saying that this spread is influenced by the Jets game because they came back and they went down the field, and Anthony Richardson actually did a pretty good job. But
it was against the Jets.
Exactly.
Again, listen, guys, the Lions versus the Bills is the Super Bowl we all need. Don't forget that. Lions versus the Bills. Just two gritty cities coming together to fight for what's theirs.
Well, the Stephen A. Smith's top five teams in the league, he has first Lions, second Bills. So he's implying that that's the Super Bowl. So
that's what it's the Super Bowl we've all wanted, guys. We all have wanted this for a long time.
I would love it.
Such a good one. But anyways, go Lions, minus 7.5. They'll cover.
Yep. This one's my lock of the week. Ask me for my lock. Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to New Jersey to play the New York Giants. Bucks minus 5.5 points against Tommy DeVito. Come on. The Bucks are coming off a bye. Mike Evans is healthy. He's practicing. He will be back. Mm-hmm. That's going to make a big difference for them. Todd Bowles, as much as that Bucks defense has been a little bit disappointing this year, he's going to find ways to frustrate the young guy coming off the bench from a third stringer. All of a sudden, he's thrown into action. No brainer here for me. I think the spread should be 8.5. I can't even believe it's 5.5 or 6, depending on where you're looking at it. Take them all day. Bucks minus the points on the road. Doesn't matter.
Also, should be a fun game to watch.
Yeah,
throwing Tommy DeVito back in.
Oh, I love it.
Give it a whirl. If it's the only thing on TV, it won't be that bad to pay attention to. And throw some money on the Bucks while you're at it, because then you'll make money and you get to watch a little bit of a show.
You know what I love about these ones? It's like Brian Dable. Is he going to get fired? Probably not. Doesn't seem like it.
I don't think so.
Right. So then, if he's not going to get fired, that the GM and the ownership has said we want to lose the games to get a better draft pick. But Dable also doesn't, and the players, they want to play for their jobs and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do some funny shit where DeVito, where actually give him a chance to do something,
Like I said, it should be a fun watch.
Yeah, but they're not going to win.
No, put your money on the Bucks.
And if you're a Giants fan, you don't want them to win anyway. So I'm with you.
Put your money on the Bucks. Yep. It'll be fun to watch all around.
Yep.
Here's another game that we're both just kind of floating on this one. Not that interested in watching, and not so sure. The spread's a little high when it comes to what I'm looking at here. We got the Titans at the Texans. Texans are, they're okay. They look like they were going to be good, then they kind of tank, and now they're just kind of like your average run-of-the-mill team.
7-4, pretty good. But yeah, I agree.
If you're a Jets. The rest of us think that's not good enough.
I mean, and that would be 8-3 if they didn't lose to the Jets. Think about that.
It's true, but minus 8.5 is a little steep.
I know.
Especially you don't have Diggs, and you're not going to have Diggs for the rest of the season. Nico Collins did return. He got hurt in the Bills game when they played weeks ago. So he's finally back, and he played last week. And it wasn't, he showed up. He showed out. He was doing a pretty good job.
He had that one initial one that was called back. The first play of the game was like a 70-yarder, and then it got called back.
But the funny thing is, we all knew it was going to get called back, and he's still going. He's doing his celebration, touchdown celebration. We're just like, please stop. It's not, didn't happen. But anyway, I would lean on it just because the -8.5 is a little scary.
Yeah, I'm leaning on the over on this one. I mean, Will Levis and the Titans hung in there with the Vikings last week, and I think they're okay. And I think that the Texans can score a bunch of points. So the 41.5 seems a little bit low to me, to be honest with you. So laying off though.
Ooh, we got the Cheats at the Panthers.
Yep, this is another one of these where it's like the high spread,
Yeah, the Chiefs, they never cover. A high spread, forget it. And you got the Panthers, the crappiest team, arguably, in the league. And I'm still concerned that the Chiefs won't cover that -11 spread. So, one, I suggest highly just laying off this. Don't put any money on it. But if you need to bet, maybe put some money on the Panthers because they're going to lose. But it's possible that they'll just lose by 7 because that's how Kansas City does it. I don't know.
Yep, yeah. And the Panthers, like, they actually won the last 2 games. Coming off a bye here. It feels like, and one of these sports analysts said it best, which I like it. They said that Kansas City has a tendency to play with their food. Basically, like, yeah, they play down to their competition, and at the end they come back and they beat them. So, like, I feel like this could be a game where it's a 10-point game, and you say, 24-14, Kansas City won, and it really was kind of a dominant thing, but, like, you didn't cover. That sucks.
Right. Yeah, they don't cover.
I'm not betting on them. Somebody actually that I saw that was saying that they thought the Panthers would win it outright.
It's very possible at this point.
But think about it. If you won it outright and you could bet plus 460 on the money line, but I wouldn't.
Maybe you put $10 on it.
Maybe.
All right, we got the Cowboys at the Commanders. I mean, I would lean on the Commanders on this one because the Cowboys are just god awful. But again, that's a high spread for a 7-4 team going up against a 3-7 team. So again, it looks like more likely that the Cowboys will win, but not by. I'm sorry, the Cowboys are going to lose, but not by maybe 10 points. So you might want to lean on the Cowboys on this one, but I just don't see that. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I think it could be a shit show.
I'm leaning on the under because I don't think the Cowboys are going to score more than 13 points. So if you take the 45 points and you say how many points is Washington going to score, it's going to be 30. I don't know. Yeah. So I would lean on the under here, but the Cowboys are bad. Their run game is trash. I mean, it's just straight trash. So you're putting everything on Cooper Rush's shoulders. Jerry Jones said, I don't feel comfortable going to Trey Lance, because he sucks too, which was like, when they got him from the Niners, it was a waste to give away a second-round pick for that shit show. So, yeah, I would stay away from it, though, with this high spread.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the point.
All right.
Both on this one. Broncos at the Raiders, divisional game.
The Raiders. Well, we're taking the Broncos because the Broncos were beautiful last week. Thank you very much. Covering tremendously against the Falcons. Now, what's very odd about this is it's -5.5 against the Raiders. I would have guessed -7. So when I saw 5.5, I'm like, I will take that all day.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I mean, their offense is looking great. So I just don't see how the Broncos don't cover here with this large spread. Sorry, with this, 5.5. So I like it a lot.
Are you a bowl lever?
A bowl lever? I never heard that. Is that what they're doing?
This is a new thing, a bowl.
A bowl lever.
Bowl lever.
I don't know. But he does look pretty good for a guy who was, 5th or 6th quarterback taken in the whole draft. He looks like he's a starter. Mm-hmm. Now, can you give a lot of that credit to Sean Payton? Probably, but,
Sure, that doesn't matter, though.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, they're doing better than they did with Russ Wilson last year, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. But now look at him on the Steelers.
I know.
Coaches matter.
Yep.
You don't have one.
No. I got some interim guy.
All right, we got the 49ers at the Packers. This one is, this is a game I want to put money on, but I just don't know. I feel like the Niners should get this one. But the Packers, they're dicey. Like they won last week by a point against the Bears. They really should have dominated them. The Niners are supposed to be this super, super team. Now, they lost last week, but they didn't have Kittle. they've also had a bunch of injuries in the middle, like after I think the first or 2 weeks. Then they lost like 3 weeks with a lot of injuries. So their record is kind of showing that. But they're not the impressive Niners that they were the last 2 seasons. And so that's why I'm like, I don't know if they're going to cover here, if the Packers are going to cover. I'm worried about it, but I'm leaning on the Niners. I feel like they are the better team.
I agree with that. I mean, I have here leaning on the over 47.5. I think this could end up being a good game, where that each team's putting up points and it's a fun one. So I'm kind of hoping that it's a 27-24 type of situation where the Niners pull out the win. That's kind of what I would think it would be. The Niners by 3, and then
I'll be watching just because Niners got to come to Buffalo next week. Woo! Coming to Buffalo, the Tundra. Yikes!
All right, so this is the last later Sunday game, not the late night game. We got the Cardinals going to the Seahawks. Bird on bird. And it's a pick 'em on this one.
Yeah. I don't know. This is another one where I'll probably end up putting money on after all the 1 o'clock games. I'm thinking Seahawks. This one is close. Pick 'em makes sense here completely. This isn't one like, I can't believe this. It completely makes sense. Cardinals are coming off a bye. But Geno looked sick last weekend. It's so hard to say. Seahawks are at home. And for that reason, I might take them as the pick 'em,
Yeah.
But that would probably be after I see what 1 o'clock games do.
Yeah, Cardinals been putting up a bunch of points, and I think that they will. And I think it will be a good game. So I lean on the over 47.5 on this one. But one thing I wanted to point out was this if you look at this one, it's a pick 'em, right? And there's the vig is both minus 110. This is Caesar's action, right? Minus 110, minus 110, which means either one you bet $110, you win 100. If you look at the money line, which in this case, if it's a pick 'em and the vigs are both the same on the spread, the money line should be exactly the same. For some reason, the Cardinals are minus 105 and the Seahawks are minus 115. So if you're a bettor for the Cardinals, right, you want to bet the minus 105.
You'd rather do the money line than the pick 'em.
The money line, not the spread. And then if you're the Seahawks, it's the opposite. So shop your lines and figure out, make sure you keep attention to those VIGs. Usually you don't have one of these here like that where they don't match up, but they are for now. Maybe they're catching somebody out there.
Yeah.
All right, Sunday night action. Eagles at the Rams. And I'm going to keep riding the Eagles, and I'm betting them again here because they're on a run. And again, you mentioned this too earlier today. You said, well, who are they beating recently? I was like, yeah, but they keep beating everybody, though.
They keep beating people.
So it's got to be worth it if you keep winning 5 in a row. So I'm going to bet them to win 6 in a row and beat the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, the Rams, I thought they were going to be better.
I know.
They got Puka back. Everybody came off of injuries, and they still haven't looked like they should have. So that's why I'm leaning on the Eagles, but I also know the Eagles can be sketchy sometimes, and so that they concern me. But I get why you're putting your money on them. I'm going to stay off on this one.
Yeah, I think this one's going to come down to whether or not the Rams can stop the rushing attack of the Eagles and Saquon, because it's so much, and nobody's really been able to do it in a while here. Rams can score points. I mean, I saw a stat last week where it was like Puka Nacua. We looked up at the TV, and it said first half he had 117 yards receiving. I mean, there's a lot of production they can get out of that offense, but is it going to be enough to beat the Eagles? I think the Eagles are going to put up 27. Will the Rams be able to? I don't know. But I'm betting the Eagles.
All right, then we end with Monday Night Football. Ravens at Chargers.
Great game. Mm-hmm. Monday night. The ESPN is happy about this one, huh?
Finally.
Got a good game.
Got a good game.
Eli, Peyton and Eli.
I don't think I want to listen to that version. I think I want to watch the regular version.
The regular version? Okay.
Chargers are actually home underdogs in this one, which makes sense. They did well against the Bengals last week. Ravens struggled to keep up and ended up losing against the Steelers just by a couple points, but the Steelers gave them a run for their money. I kind of want the Ravens to keep losing. That would be helpful for me as a whole. But I'm taking the Chargers on this one. They've just been gradually getting better and better. The Ravens have been kind of getting a little worse and worse. They're not as strong as they came out in the beginning of the season. So I think it's, like I said, a good game to watch. But I think that putting my money on the Chargers at +3 is the way to go.
I mean, you're probably right here. This is going to be brother on brother, Harbaugh on Harbaugh.
Yeah, it's the Harbaugh brother game.
Yeah. I'll lead on the under the 50. 50 is a high total. Last week the Ravens didn't put up 20.
16-13.
Yeah.
Woo.
So I think that but I'm staying away from this one just because I think both teams are really good. This is one I want to watch. It's weird, but sometimes when you want to watch a game but you don't want to bet it, this is one of those games. I want to watch it. I don't think I want to bet it. Maybe you get a sense during the game and maybe we live bet something, but I'm not touching. I think I'm with you though. I'd rather see the Chargers do better.
Yeah, of course. So go Chargers. Give me my money and win mine as well.
All right, quick recap. We only have 7 total bets this week. Probably one of the lower amounts for the whole season, but we'll start out with you for Thursday night.
It's my lock of the week. Steelers -3.5 versus the Browns. I mean, you guys all look at this. You just know that's an easy lock. No explanation needed.
Yep.
And then we're both on the Vikings -3.5 versus the Bears. Sorry about that. Vikings are I think, are the better team. Bears have been struggling. I'm surprised they won against the Packers, but I think that speaks more poorly against the Packers than it does highly of the Bears. So I'm taking them. So we're taking them -3.5.
Yep. Both on the Lions because you got to keep riding the Lions. They're going to put up 1,000 million points, so you got to take them. And my lock of the week is the Bucks, minus the points, but the Giants, they're trying to lose. Tommy DeVito, come on, give me a break. This bet is more against the Giants than it is for the Bucks, but Mike Evans is back.
But a good game to watch. Definitely
Good
should
game,
watch it.
yeah.
Should be fun, full of little plays.
Yep.
And then we're both on the Broncos -5.5 versus the Raiders because the Broncos are good. Raiders are not. 5.5 spread seems kind of low. Definitely taking that one.
Yep. And I'm on the Sunday Night Football game, the Eagles, riding that hot hand, getting it done against the Rams.
And then lastly, on Monday Night Football, I'm taking the Chargers at +3 versus the Ravens. Kind of want the Ravens to lose. Also think that the Chargers should win. So that's why I'm taking them at the home underdogs, +3.
Yep. And that is it for the week, folks. Next week, probably early in the week, maybe on Tuesday, we'll be dropping an abbreviated version of the pod ahead of Thanksgiving week. Probably give you a nice little fun, maybe parlay, Turkey Day parlay, probably.
Yeah.
We'll have to do one of those. Some shit games on that day, but we'll,
All on Netflix, but Netflix promises there will be no buffering.
No, I thought Netflix is Christmas.
Oh, that's Christmas.
Yeah. So either way.
Cut that out or leave
No,
it,
leave
whatever
it
you
in.
want.
I'll leave it in. All right, everybody. Enjoy the weekend. Good luck with your betting out there. All right. And hope you follow our locks of the week.
Yep, let's
'Cause
go Locks.
You got to ask me for the locks.
Since our teams aren't playing, let's
Exactly.
go Locks. Woo,
All right.
Locks.
See you guys. Bye. Bye.
Couple of bettors. I want to make money. Couple of bettors. Couple of bettors.